Welcome back to Infinite Rocket where strategies thrive. Man, we have been going on quite the journey with these World Chalice cards, or World Legacy cards. To be more specific, they're not World Chalice. I thought that this was a World Chalice deck, but truth be told, the World Chalice is just one of 7 artifacts. So we just tried dueling using the World Legacy deck, and we got our asses kicked. We need to get deeper into the story here. Welcome to the live stream. Welcome. Hopefully your day is going great. You feel me? Hopefully everything is going good for you. So yeah, let's continue to see where we at. Last thing we did was train our Mech Lord deck, but we did not complete the story. So we get into battles. Look, I'll show you guys right now. We'll battle real quick so you can see, and we'll get our asses kicked. Because right now we're on platinum level, right? And we reached platinum with the Jurod Kung Fu deck, which we will not use because it is a bit too cheesy. Not cheesy, it's just overwhelming for the opponent. You know, but we want to duplicate this effect. You know, not the same deck style or whatever, but we want to duplicate the effect where we're making the opponent have to really question what it is that they're able to do. But we'll do this match, and within the match we will lose for sure, because the thing is like I said, we don't have nowhere near the cards that we need. But we'll go through this really quickly. So we're facing someone whose name is Atem777, and he's using the Exodia deck box and a Dark Magician 8. Now I will say I already have an account called Atem. That's why he had to put the 777, because he can't be the original Atem. But he tried. That part. Nah, they got the Dark Magician, magical hats as the mat. But here's the problem, right? They got the Sky Strikers as the icon, and the dual field is like that starving venom dragon bullshit. Alright, 1 card face down, 4 cards in the hand. We are willing to bet that this is played extremely defensively. There's nothing but hand traps. This deck sucks, but because we know their strategy, we might be able to break past it, because they're playing extremely scary right now. They're playing for hand traps. I couldn't even draw my card because they have a card they can activate right now on my turn before we could do anything. We're gonna bring out Aurum, who is known as chosen by the World Chalice. Let's get it. Normal summon Aurum, or the chosen. He uses Eternal Soul. This guy thinks he's Dark Magician. He summons the Dark Magician. I mean, he thinks he's a Temporal. I'm gonna show you guys my Atem account so you can see. Wow, he summoned this nigga in attack position. Yo, is this guy stupid or what? Yo, you know what? I might be able to win this right now. Like, I might. I've never built a powerful combo with this deck yet. You know, we've been able to avoid that so far, but I think we bring out Duke, who's also our mate on the side, as you can see. It's that, yeah, he looked at us. He started barking. Yo, that's so cool. So he has Chaos Hunter. When your opponent puts summon a monster. Whoa. Alright. So he countered me. Ghost Bell and Haunted. Yeah, it's a bunch of hand traps. So he uses you can discard 1 card, switch summon this. Your opponent cannot banish cards. So that's to prevent me from banishing. This deck does banish, but it doesn't emphasize banishing. So, ouch. Ouch, my boy. We don't emphasize banishment. Actually, we're gonna bring out our World Chalice Guardian, which is our mate. It's the dual mate that we have. We're gonna bring that same exact card to our hand. Oh wow, this is so beautiful. We're gonna link summon. He stopped us from being able to banish cards. I wonder how this goes. So we can no longer banish, but we can still summon. Alright, we're gonna bring out our Guardian. Thank you so much, my love. He has one more hand trap potentially. But even with that, yo bro, I'm gonna keep it a band with you. This is dirty work. We're gonna use this effect, right? I'm gonna show you something. Oh man. Oh man. Is this disrespectful or nah? We're gonna use this effect. We might actually lock him out his own game. So we're gonna bring back M. Duke. Yes, Lord. You know we can't live without that dragon now. Come on, boy. Now, here's where it gets fucked up for him. Right? Here's where it gets fucked up for him. This is for co-link, right? But we don't need that right now. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually go into a link 3 summoning, and we're gonna bring out Ningirsu. Oh yeah. He said we can't banish cards, right? Okay, cool. You don't want us to banish anything? No problem, bro. We won't banish shit. Alright? We won't banish nothing from our graveyard. You can't banish anything from your graveyard either. The only reason why I'm going this hard too, in case you guys don't know, is because this nigga is jacking that he's a Tim. And no, nigga. Alright. We're gonna set this card face down. Alright. Then we're gonna use Ningirsu's special ability. I can get rid of 1 card from my field. He's gonna counter it. He has to go for the count. No, okay, he can't. I get rid of this 1 card from my field, which allows me to get rid of 1 card from his field. And I'm gonna get rid of his Eternal Soul, which is gonna pop his entire field. Blow. Get rid of everybody else. And he can counter, but he's gonna counter his own trap. He brings out this card. I didn't summon anything, but he summons that shit anyways to his side of the field. So I guess I did summon. I summoned 5 times. He brings this out, but he has no monsters. And he has to give me back a monster for that, which also pops his monster. I got 75 with this monster. I can attack him with this in the GG's. But because he did that, we're gonna... He popped everything we got, right? We're gonna activate the heart. He has to destroy his own monster. He has no other cards. But we're gonna say, how about we add, let's see. This has a normal monster, except for token. How about we add, this guard dragon back to our hand. And we'll also take, Aurum. Why not? Why not? Why not take Aurum? So because of that, we are actually slightly broken. We're gonna set 1 card, and we're gonna end our turn. So the thing is he has to actually get past. Please press our heart, so you don't care about it. You don't care about it. He's gonna have to get past his own monster. He has 1 card to do it. He's gonna scoop. This nigga who's claiming to be a Tim, you know for a fact a Tim does not scoop. Oh, he didn't scoop. He did not scoop. Okay, so the only thing that makes sense for him not scooping is him having possibly a magic cylinder and potentially throwing that same attack back at me. So just in case of that, we're gonna be prepared. We're gonna bypass that. It's not cylinders because it can be triggered. Whatever that card is can be triggered right now because it is. He's waiting. He's reading my card. So he cannot. Cylinders can only be triggered by an attack. That's not cylinders face down. That's a card that's gonna resurrect something from the grave or destroy something from the field. So since we know that, let's play into that. We're gonna normal summon Aura. I think we actually got our first victory with this deck, and it's against someone who we deserve to win against. This nigga is not a Tim. We're gonna go ahead and link summon. Yeah, this nigga is definitely not a Tim, bruh. I don't know what that card is, and quite frankly, I don't really give a fuck. You go ahead, pop the card, bro. Pop the card, man. Oh. He paid 4,000 life points to stop me from summoning this fucking monster. Are you stupid? Are you stupid? I switched your monster into attack position, and I kill you with your own freaking monster. Are you dumb or dumb? He has no cards to stop that. Thank you, GG's. I finally got my first victory with this deck. I honestly was expecting to lose. Sorry for that confusion, because I told you guys I was gonna get my ass kicked, and I actually beat this nigga. This nigga just sucks. Okay, he's jacking that he's a Tim. This is not a Tim. This nigga is bullshit. Now, I'm gonna show you a Tim right now. We're gonna go to, we're gonna get out of that shit. We're gonna save that, cause we gotta come back and troll this nigga for acting like he's a Tim. We're gonna come back and dance on this right here. But for the meantime, we're gonna save that. Right? That's our first victory ever online with this deck. Normally, so far, we've been getting our ass kicked. We don't play too well with this deck so far. This is the reason why we live stream right now, because we're gonna do a little bit into the story, and then we're gonna stop the live stream. We'll come back and do the story later, but we got a lot of stuff we want to do today outside of the gaming. Right? So, but first, let me just show you guys what the fuck. What the hell wrong with this nigga, man? No, this is a Tim. Okay, a Tim the Pharaoh. You understand? This right here is a Tim. Let's go to profile. Let's see if we have any replays set for this guy real quick. You see this? You see this? This is a Tim. All right. Now, granted, we just got into these, but if you notice, the saddest shit, right, is that the first victory is with the E hero. Then we got the Elemental Sabers. That was a deck I ran for a while, I'm not gonna deny. I ran the Elemental Sabers on my Tim account for quite some time. Because it was the first deck I ever got from the story mode. Or the first deck I liked from the story mode. The first one we got was actually that the Monarchs. But the Monarchs were decent, but it wasn't so refreshing to me because it was something I was already familiar with, right? We've already faced the Monarchs. I've used those cards in real life. I faced those cards in real life. Mobius was a meta card. Like almost everyone ran Mobius, and the dark one. So like we just seen those cards a lot. It wasn't anything too special. But then so now these Elemental Saber, this was new for me. I furthered into the story and eventually got to a point where we got to the Tengi, and I started to use this deck, and I fell in love with this deck ever since. As you can see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 duels on here, and this became our main dueling deck on the account that we're using right now. Once again, we doubled back down with the Elemental Sabers just to refresh, and since then we've been using the Dark Magician. So this is the actual. We'll do the replays for that, but this not right now. That's the actual attempt. Mighty. This is Stone and Gamer Girl, man. This account is broken, man. And to be honest, so if you see her wallpaper, the background, she has the World Chalice. It's Ib and Imduke, and that is actually the reason why I started to build this World Challenge deck. Prior to that, I've seen the cards before, but I wasn't really interested. But seeing her have that as her wallpaper just kind of inspired me to just, you know, journey down into that path. So we're gonna go to solo and see exactly where we are. We just wanna, because we're gonna just get into some of the story. We may not even duel. I don't think we're gonna duel actually. We're gonna just look at a couple of the stories and then we're probably gonna head out. So let's just look at what we got. Because this is gonna also advance our deck, and we need a lot of these cards. We need our deck to be a bit stronger, but it needs to make sense. We don't need to just put all the power cards together. I hate when you duelists do that. That's why you lose. You see that guy just lost because he just put all these power cards together and called himself a Tim. Like, bro, get the hell on with this nonsense. You know, the power cards is not gonna work. You gotta have strategy. Okay. The secret powers of the planet. Yeah, nah, we got some secret powers. I hope that shit is not some fuck shit. You look at the land, it's mountainous. It was almost mistaken for the pyramids for a second just now. But it's not the pyramids. Give me a second, this shit is busting. I gotta eat this shit right there. Alright. Don't forget to subscribe to Stone and Gamer Girl. Matter of fact, hold up. Before we even read further into this, let's check our numbers. We were last looking at 19, right? 31 down, 19 to go. Let's see where we at right now. I'm not playing, man. I'm gonna keep whooping these niggas back and forth. I'm gonna keep whooping y'all. When y'all see me on this thing and you see Phoenix, you know it's me whooping you. While I'm whooping you, until you subscribe to Stone and Gamer Girl, I'm gonna keep whooping y'all back to back to back. Y'all not getting past that board lock. You're not getting past nothing that we put up. I'm not gonna be lenient whatsoever until I see those subscriptions go up. I need to see some subscriptions. Subscribe, 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 you heard? Yeah, y'all better stop playing around. Alright, now. Let's look at what we got. We're gonna go to our channel real quick. Quick. See, I almost went to the wrong one. Alright. Listen, we need 19 subscriptions. Subscribe. Stop playing around. Subscribe right now. Alright? We need all the subscriptions we can get. Alright, a few years had passed since that nightmare of a tragedy. Now, the nightmare, if I'm not mistaken, is the nightmare, the nightmares. The nightmare monsters, right? You got the nightmare Phoenix and all that other bullshit. We had to fight the niggas. You see all the debris all over the place. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, and this is the saddest shit ever. This shit broke my heart. So Ibli was beating the shit out of Aurum. Alright? Aurum knew he was about to lose, so he fused with the Mech Knight Blue Sky. Blue Sky gives him his power, and while facing each other, Aurum was defeated by Ibli, who then goes and proceeds to take him out. But before she does, she's playing around with him. She's toying with him. She's twirling around his sword around her fingers, like she's just checking the weight and seeing how much power or strength is in the weapon. Right before she's satisfied and she goes to go kill him, Duke comes in between them and prevents her from killing Aurum. When that happened, he does a roar, which brings Ib back to herself, and she takes her spirit form, and instead of stabbing Aurum, she stabs herself. That's the last thing we saw. This is the most terrible thing that happened, because she essentially committed suicide for the sake of protecting her family and friends. and ultimately the world, because Iblis being free to do whatever she wants destroys the rest of the world without no hesitation. Alright, when Aurum awoke, he found that he found that the girl and her brother were no longer with him. So that was the last thing he seen, was that he was holding her. But while holding her, you know, he's just crying and just like calling her name and wishing for her to be back. Just to see that she doesn't. She actually disappears along with her brother. Yeah, that's a little sad though. Alright, let's see. Was Ib really gone now for good? The loss of the girl had its grip over Aurum's heart like an unbreakable vice. So him thinking that she died is like destroying him. It's like that's crushing his whole entire soul right now. I couldn't protect Ib. Damn, that's deep, bro. So he's burdened with the fact that he wasn't able to protect the one person he was really trying to protect this entire time. I know that shit is devastating for him. If only I were stronger, then her death can have been avoided. So ultimately, like I said, he's wearing that burden. He feels that if he was more powerful, it would have been protected and none of this would have ever happened. Now that happens a lot in situations where something goes wrong and there's a person who's left to feel guilty about it. But in most cases, that person generally becomes power hungry, attempting to achieve the power that could, prevent whatever from happening to happen again. So normally they go all out trying to become as all powerful so that they can never allow anything wrong to ever happen again. In reality, life happens, things will go wrong. But you have to be able to deal with them. You know, you can't spend your entire life trying to counter everything that's going to go wrong, because you won't be able to do that successfully without over-exhausting yourself. You may be able to hold that up for a while, but eventually it will exhaust you. The battle had left a chasm in Aurum's heart. Damn, man, this nigga is fucked behind this shit. Now that it was gone, Aurum had tasted for the first time just how terrifying a battle could be, and how devastating losing someone you treasured could be. Yeah, that is true. He didn't have the heart to go on with his journey. Not for now. Damn, my son gave up. You can't give up, my boy. However, there was still one thing on his mind that bothered him. It was Ningirsu. Even now, Aurum still had no idea where he had gone. No doubt despair had taken him now that his beloved sister was no more. And when Aurum thought about how Ningirsu must be feeling right now, his heart became fraught with immovable weight. So it's like this shit is killing him that he lost Ib, and then it's killing him even more that he knows that it's killing Ningirsu. This nigga is just going through everything. Like, I'm surprised he don't have a heart attack right now. Holy shit. This is what we were looking for. This is what we were looking for. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this right here may actually turn this deck into an aggressive deck. We were using a semi-defensive deck. It was kind of like, let me try to build up quickly and just do that. You know, build up quickly, let you pop my monster, and then try to rebuild the next turn. With this right here, we may be able to stay on the field and not get rebuilt. It says, but that was exactly why Aurum had to go after his childhood friend. And so, the swordsman resumed his journey with Imduk. Oh, that's another thing, right? So, Ningirsu has left them. These two are by themselves. So they're in this part of the journey by themselves. It was when panic was beginning to settle in Orum's mind. Oh wait, it was when panic began to settle in Orum's mind. Nothing's going on. Anyways, let me see what time is it. Oh yeah, 1:30. I said around 2, so we got a little bit. Alright, was it coincidence or did the Mech Knight that dwelled within him lead him to it? Huh? Lead him to what? He stumbled across a dormant crawler. Oh shit. Is this nigga about to fuse with the crawlers, bruh? It occurred to Orum that this might lead to a clue. He could try and rescue it and see if its communication system still work. Wait a minute. So that means that we do need to add those crawlers into our deck? Is that what you're telling me right now? Let's zoom in. Hold up. These are the Crusaders. These must be the niggas that he met along his journey. But this is Draco. This is his Armduke, M Duke, whatever this guy's name is. I forget because we don't really use him too much. But let me see. You can special summon this card from your hand in defense to a zone a link monster points to. So this card can be normal summoned, or it can be special summoned if you already have a link monster out. You can target one Crusadia link monster you control this turn. If it battles an opponent's monster, any battle damage it inflicts the opponent is double also. Wow. Other monsters you control cannot attack. So you can make someone double damage, but who would that be? It would be himself. 3K. Damn. Wait a minute, hold up, is that a link 4? This is a link 4. Wow. Okay, so this is actually pretty interesting. So we got those cards. We'll go into the next story. This gives us the sleeves. Ooh, but we get to change our sleeves. Wait. Do we even have sleeves for this deck? Wait a minute. I don't think we even had sleeves for this deck. Let's check. I think this deck is like really novice-y. Oh, we got sleeves, but we got the World Chalice sleeves. All right. And we also got the World Legacy dual mat. I wonder if we end up with a different... Wait, what, nigga? No. I clicked the first thing that was there by accident. But no, I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty insane. We didn't add nothing to the deck. We got about 30 minutes, so let's see what we can do within that space. This is a decent sleeve though, I will say. This is him. I want to see what transformed him into this state though. He didn't get transformed into this yet. I want to say it's that crawler. And it's crazy because I have that card and I'm like, we don't use crawlers, so why? Alright. Orum succeeded in restoring the crawler and gained access to its communication system along with a number of records. But wait, why is he already in Crusadia form? That detailed areas in which the swarms were active, and data on the locations where many crawlers have been deployed. Perhaps there was still some life left in those areas. And if there was, maybe they would know where Ningirsu had gone. Oh yeah, because ultimately it seemed like the world was over. It was like everything was destroyed. So he's looking for final survivors type shit. Armed with his new clue. No, armed with new armor, motherfucker. What do you mean a new clue? This is a completely different set of armor. Why did they not explain how we got into that? Aurum set off to the areas he had gleaned from the records. However, as useful as the information was, it unfortunately didn't make Aurum's expedition any easier. There was nary a sign of life to be spotted anywhere, and the journey was looking like it could be in vain, or pardon me, that it could end in vain. Nature, uncaring and unrelenting, continued to battle over the two mercilessly. But at last, a glimmer of hope. At the end of the arduous tunnel, Aurum and Umduk had stumbled across the remaining tribes of the planet. I don't like the fact that they're not transitioning into the Crusaders. They just forcing them into that. I don't know what gave this nigga this power. That's not really making too much sense. It takes away from the story somewhat. That was, no, pardon me, that of the fiery. Welcome to the live stream. Welcome to the live stream. Hopefully you enjoy your day. Infinite Rocket, where strategies thrive. And right now we're on Master Duel, learning the story of the Royal Legacy cards, which we're currently in the part where we're doing the Crusadia cards. But yeah, that of the fiery recluses, that's this thing. The stalwart beast and the sacred lakeside trees. So we got beasts, trees, and recluses or some shit, I forgot. Although this encounter brought no clues as to Ningirsu's whereabouts, Aurum and Umduk were blessed with the legends and knowledge of the tribes. Now, if you notice what they just said, they were blessed with the legends and knowledge of the tribes. It was a blessing just to get information about them. Just to hear their story was a blessing. Because it's wisdom that you can take with you and go somewhere else with. You know, that is something that's really critical. It's something that's really key. And by linking them together, Aurum was able to unlock a great secret power of the world and witness the tremendous power that slumbered in its depth. It made him think of the world chalice powers that were bestowed to him. This card looks like something. It looks like the guard dragon that I got. The guard dragon that's from the Tempot. That looks like that trap card for sure. That is that trap card. It has to be. But there was a greater, far greater, hiding. Unbeknownst to the dwellers of the planet. Was this what Lee had sought? Aurum thought. Yo, bro. First of all, that shit was a mind fuck. We could use that sleeve. This right here was supposed to explain how he became the secret powers of the planet. This is supposed to explain how he became a Crusadian. As it says, years passed. Alright, and at the last scene we see is him like this, which is him in his normal state because he was stripped from his ability to link summon because the world chalice has been taken away from him. So once that happened, Okay, had no idea where he had gone. So now I understand. It's safe to say that they scavenged these parts from the because it says years has passed and they couldn't find them, and they were just going around, going around, going around. So they're crusaders at that point, and that's why we get Crusadia. But also, you have to look at the fact that their armor are the crawler pieces. Those are pieces of the crawlers. Those are metal pieces from the crawlers. So that makes more sense. I'm gonna skip that. Let's go into this scenario, which is Ib. This is Ib in her regular form. This is really crazy. Let's see how much time we got left, because this is really crazy right now. We got 16 minutes. Alright, wait, what? Did we go backwards? No, there's no way this is the beginning of the story already. What were the more secrets? Ah, yeah, because that's they go. So it's kind of like a flashback because Ib was in search of a voice when we got to this point in the forest. It says, "What were the more secrets dwelled beneath the surface?" One of them was the rebirth records, inscribed with the history of the planet. Chronicles from generations long before. Now, I will say, you see that world was looking like that. I think that this is related to the Tempai. If that's the case, that means both of my decks are already connected. That is beautiful. Beautiful. Let's just see though. And the other, beyond memories of the planet's glorious age where humans ruled from the apex. Where humans rule from the apex. I don't know, what am I reading? Alright, so and the other bygone memories of the planet's glorious age where humans ruled from the apex. So one of the secrets is that humans ruled everything, and the other secret is the rebirth, the cycle of rebirth. Oh shit, there is a dragon right there in that background. That shit is Draco. It says long ago there was a god who ruled the skies. That god looks very draconic to me. With dragonkind as its disciples. Wait a minute, is this the Yo bro, what? As his disciples, it perpetuated the sky, which means it spread out. Perpetuated the cycles of destruction and rebirth. It continued them. The cycle of destruction and rebirth to maintain the balance of the realm. So it constantly destroyed things and brought it back. So now I'm questioning if this is Nephthys. This is really interesting because I built a separate deck that may tie into this deck already. It says, however, the scale of destruction grew bigger each time, and one day the balance of the two was thrown into great disarray. So we got more darkness than we got light, or more destruction than resurrection. So we're dying but not able to come back. That is not good because resurrection is what we're all about. Phoenix, baby. Phoenix, Phoenix, Phoenix. Alright, once this delicate balance toppled, even the sacred skies could not hold back the destruction it wrought. Damn! The god decided that it could no longer oversee the skies by itself. So now we have a Patreon. This guy is gonna bring other guys with him. The patriarch, with its power of creation, it brought forth layers and layers of the toughest earth and sealed the powers of destruction within. Okay? With nowhere to go, the powers raised and raised until it boiled and scorched the very earth, morphing it. What the fuck? The torrent of power rushed through the land and merged with the powers of creation, leaking out onto the surface. What the hell is going on? So basically, there was a god that put all of the power of destruction into the earth because he couldn't deal with this shit no more. But then that shit came back out and is taking over the earth and fusing with it, and also potentially fusing with him or her, whatever that entity is. It became a small manifestation of the cycle of death and rebirth and gave life to the lands. What the fuck? With the last of its strength, the god turned itself into a key. Whoa! That key is a god, and entrusted it to the life blooming. And entrusted it to the life blooming on. Oh yeah, it's a life blooming on the planet before vanishing. Yeah. So damn. So this nigga is the key. That dragon god is actually that key, which makes sense that Aurum has a Draco. He has a dragon guardian, but this is a dragon god, not guard. God and guard are two different things. Though God is your guard as well. But your guard ain't always gonna be God. In the years following its disappearance, the powers of destruction re-emerge to the surface many times. However, every time it did, the life of the planet used the key and, with the help of the dragon kind, pushed it back to whence it came. Where's the dragon kindness hover? Over time, the key came to be known as hold on. Over time, the key came to be known as word. Okay, became known as word, and the power of destruction. Oh, the key is the word. Oh shit, that's like the Bible. No, that's crazy. The Bible is like, God is the word, and yeah, that's crazy. Alright, so over time, the key came to be known as the word, and the power of destruction as the great darkness. So you have the word and you have the great darkness. Thus, the great legend of the world hero was born. Wow, this is like it's like God and the devil, pretty much, the great darkness. This is really interesting. Starlit hero, your sword swathed in light. May you triumph over the great darkness. Hell yeah, we're gonna triumph over that darkness. Let's get it. Oh yeah, what's the time with it? Oh, we got 8. Oh yeah, we looking nice. That was decent. So now we know that that shit is actually a god. It's not just what the fuck? So the good thing about this is all story. The closing part. Let's just read this. This might be the last story we get to read. Go through. So let's just go through this part real quick and just look at this. Decades, centuries, maybe millennia passed. So decades, years in terms of tens, centuries, years in terms of hundreds, and millennia, years in terms of the thousands. Maybe millennia passed since the beginning of the rebirth records. I'm really interested in seeing what this fucking dragon is, this dragon god that has the power of rebirth. Because we are able to revive our monsters in this deck. So I wonder, I'm just really interested. The land was now populated with life known as humanity. This is so funny. There was a civilization who had gained scientific knowledge and technological know-how, and were at the heights of their prosperity. That's us today, if you guys don't know. Their glory came at a cost. You just seen that stuff get fade away. For it not only tore the planet's gifts away from it, but also the dragons who protected it. So this is the thing that we gotta realize. This is true. This is not just something for the sake of Yu-Gi-Oh! We are losing the essence of our planet's purity, because the more we build into technology, 9 times out of 10 we're going into destruction of the natural world. We're taking away natural resources, destroying trees and just environments in itself, taking away animals from their living environments and stuff like that, contaminating our foods and waters, our air, for the sake of advancement. And that is actually detrimental cost, extremely detrimental. So we gotta be mindful of that stuff. This is actually pretty accurate with today's society, or societal standards. Let's continue. The god, and I'm loving the fact that this is a dragon, because it just so seamlessly connects to our prior deck, the Tenyi deck. The god and the dragons that once had faded into obscurity as mere tales. Oh my goodness. So now it's like we don't believe in them. We don't believe in God. We don't believe in dragons. It's just a myth. It's just something people are talking about because they got faded away, because we're more concerned with technology and all this other bull crap. Once again, pretty accurate. And it was during this time that the key was excavated and uncovered. The humans were exhilarated by such a legendary and mystical find. Although its authenticity became gradually acknowledged, some expressed worries and doubts at the discovery. Some people thought it was fake or something, even though it's authenticity, meaning we know it's real, we know it's authentic, it's not like a copy or a fake or nothing. But some people still feel like, I don't know what that shit's really capable of doing. They got doubts. Most of them are probably afraid, because magic is the warrior or the rival to science. Like, they're like enemies to some degree. When in all reality, they are one thing. But you know, I digress. Let's continue. What did it mean for the key to have resurfaced in this time? Was it an omen? And see, that's the thing. They're afraid of the fact that it could be an omen, and anything magical or quote-unquote coincidental will make these people feel away. It's like a superstition and stuff like that. So maybe they just want to get rid of it. Was this an omen, warning them of an inevitable battle between the world hero and the great darkness, like the legend said? Now that they could see that the key existed in its sword form, did this not also mean that the powers of destruction were indeed sealed within the planet's crust? Humanity began to assemble their finest to assemble the key. Now these, I made an Adamantipator deck, and these guys look something like the Adamantipator, just saying. But humanity began to assemble their finest to analyze the key. They're taking the key and they're trying to learn it. They're like studying this shit inside out. Within the team that had formed, there was a scientist who has shown her talent in all fields of medicine, astronomy, and archaeology. So she's good at healing, because she's advanced in medicine. Astronomy gives her the ability to understand astrological forces, and then also you have archaeology. So she's into studying older things, digging up things, excavating. Pretty much she's a genius. She knows how to fix a lot of things, ultimately. What the fuck? You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Her name was Lee? Yo, bro. Let me see how much time we got on this. That just busted my mouth. We got 2 minutes. This is definitely the last story that we're gonna go through. But this shit is crazy. Her name was Lee, bruh. Lee. This is the angel. This is the fairy girl. It has to be. Lee was known all over the world as the foremost authority on computer science. So she's a hacker as well. This girl is a fucking genius, right? So she's a genius. She's a scientist that is extremely versed in computer science. She's established in medical sciences, right? Because she can heal people. She's medicine. She's an archaeologist. And also an astronomer. So she pretty much, I'm not gonna say she knows everything, but this girl pretty much knows everything. She studies like almost most of the mental fields of the world. The only thing I could say she skipped out on is psychology and sociology, but she probably naturally gains that in the workspace that she's in. No wonder she was able to deceive these people, man. She's a freaking genius, man. This is terrible. But this now, see, here's the thing. Me and my wife was speaking about this concept maybe a few months ago. Because the thing is oftentimes you have to learn a story. You know, stories are very important. Oftentimes what happens is people will portray a story of someone or something, right? And it comes with a biased taste, right? So we were speaking on this in terms of Maleficent from a Sleeping Beauty series, right? Now you watch Sleeping Beauty and you take Maleficent as an evil witch that's just all of this bad stuff and blah, 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 blah. But if you actually learn her story, you can understand that in most cases, any entity that's moving in a certain way was influenced to move that way. Something happened along that journey to influence their current behavior. So this is interesting, man. This gives us the Joker vibe. It gives us you know, Hashirama, I mean, what's his name? Not Madara. Well, Madara too. Madara was actually played. If you watch Naruto, Madara is evil as fuck, but he was actually played. Itachi, Pegasus. You know, it's giving us the person you thought was bad, but it's like, why are they bad though? Like, what made them become that way? Excluding Bakura, because we have no excuse for this nigga. He's just evil as fuck. But everyone else, you kind of want to look at both sides of the story. Bakura's body, you can look at his story because he's actually a good guy. But the essence of Zork, that nigga's just pure evil. You know, that's the one thing that we do know about this entire series. Let's continue. The analysis was able to proceed smoothly thanks to her involvement. And not long after, the team branded itself as an organization called Crusadia. What? Under the jurisdiction of the Confederation of Nations. Them niggas made themselves an organization called the Crusadia. And wait a minute, there's a woman with her hair long out. Is that it? Yo, bro. I mean, is that Lee? Yo, bro. What? Hold on. Once they had analyzed the key further, they began to draft a plan that would help fight the imminent threats to their planet. It would involve warriors of a mechanical nature, and they called it, now hold up now, hold the fuck up. It said warriors of a mechanical nature. If you use context clues, it says, and they called it. I'm willing to bet that they called it Mech Knights. Yes or no? Project Mech Knight. Wow, this is fucking insane. Honestly, so Lee was a part of the group that created the Mech Knights. And that's the reason why they went back to try to fight her. Oh, this shit is making all the sense in the world. That's why she was able to take their power so easily. This shit is crazy. Ib, right? Yeah. It says, work was to proceed without a moment's delay. Damn. So that means they gotta just keep working. Proceed without moments of delay means no breaks. Just go, work, nigga, work. Oh, this shit is crazy. This is crazy. It's starting to make so much more sense. It don't make sense. Meanwhile, Lee drew up a hypothesis and sought to validate it in secret. So she came up with her own conclusion. Hypothesis is just something you figure out, like a theory or something you just, a thing that you believe to be possibly true, but you don't know it's all the way true. But she sought to validate it in secret. So when she validates it, she'll know if it's true or not. Damn, this is really interesting. I love this story. I wish the Tingy story was as expansive, because we had like a small little touch. It was 2 scenarios, and then it was like a bunch of fighting, and then that was that. This shit is very well developed. I love this. This shit is like probably the best story I've seen in the entire story mode so far. She wanted to get to the root of the appearance of the great darkness that World Hero legend spoke of. So she's trying to find out why the darkness was created. But maybe she's intrigued by the darkness and wants to become a part of it. Or maybe she's just a nosy ass motherfucker and she goes into it and that shit possesses her and that turns her into the evil that she becomes. Recorded in the legend were multiple tales of the key being used to drive back the great darkness by harnessing the powers of creation and destruction. So the thing about rebirth is the rebirth is both creation and destruction. Okay, so that I want you to be clear that the destruction is not a part of the darkness. Okay, the darkness doesn't necessarily have to destroy. It could banish, it could destroy, but destruction in itself is not necessarily evil. Okay, you build a house, you may have to break down parts of what you had already to rebuild whatever's there. You may have things within your career that you got to work on, and you might want to break down one part of your career to strengthen another part. So it's not evil in itself, but darkness, that's what we got to get past, that great darkness. It was a simple enough story. The great darkness would appear, and the world hero would fight it back with the key. So does she want to be the world hero? However, could the reverse also not be true? Whoa. That using the key was the very thing that drew the darkness out. There were those who were entrusted with the divine mission, and the conspirators who sought to revive the power of destruction. The World Hero legend was ultimately a story of the power struggle over the key. Whoever has the key will control the fate of the world. Ultimately, that's what it boils down to. It boils down to that key being the most powerful thing. It's essentially God, right? God put himself into that key and gave it to the people and just hope that they would use it for good. But that same power, because it has the power of creation, can also recreate the evil of the world. This is interesting, man. Or so went Lee's hypothesis anyway. At least that's what she's thinking, right? But I'm following that story. It makes a lot of sense. And the more time she spent trying to validate it, the darker her ambitions grew. This is what I knew was happening. Because of this, she may want to become the evil herself, man. The divine power, oh my goodness, the divine powers will be mine. She's a genius, right? That's what happened. She's very smart. She's very established, but maybe she doesn't get enough credit at work, or she doesn't feel recognized enough. If you look at her fucking face, she has a bang covering her eyes. So you can tell she's really unnoticed. She's not really, they don't really pay attention to her that much. But she's the heart of the whole operation. She's the one putting in the most work. she's doing her shit to make that shit go forward. She's just not getting credited for it. So that could be pushing her towards evil ways. You know, that's definitely likely. She said the divine powers will be mine. Now, she's not attempting with that statement to be evil. But divine means godly or of God, and ultimately she wants to be God. Where she want to go with that, we don't know yet. But we know that she wants to be God. Damn, son. So that put us at the 2 o'clock marker, 2:09. We actually got 9 minutes extra, 10 minutes extra. But that was really interesting, man. We're going to leave it there. That was really cool. When we come back, we have a few things we can do. Then we got some dueling possibly. This is really amazing. I'm not going to lie. I did not expect this at all. Yeah, I did not expect that whatsoever. We're going to actually change the sleeves, put that card in our deck, and then we're going to end the live stream. Make sure you guys are subscribed. Oh, I forgot we got one more too. But make sure you guys are subscribing to Stoner Gamer Girl on YouTube. That was amazing, bro. I can't deny that. That shit was amazing. That was really, really cool. So we want to put in Crusadia Maximus. No, this is another thing, right? Oh yeah, that's definitely him. He's just older. I'm like, wait, this nigga looks older than before, but no, it's definitely. He's also still psychic, right? It's the same exact thing. 1600 attack. Look, this is how true it is. 1600 attack, 1000 defense, 1600 attack. Now, the 1000 defense is the additional armor that we have added to it. So we have extra armor added. That's the 1000 defense. We will drop one of these chosen because we got him in this form, and now this form. So we got 4 different forms of this guy. What the hell's his name again? Jesus Christ. Aurum. So we got 4 different forms of Aurum. There is a 5th form, which is this one right here. This is a link for. We will put this in our deck once we achieve it. We don't have the cards for it right now, but we will definitely achieve. We'll put that card in our deck. This is a normal card, bro. You gotta be kidding me. Now this is the card I was talking about. I thought that was what's that girl? I thought that was Lee. Arborea? No, that's not her. But these niggas are a part of that group though. Alright, anyways, I did not realize this right here. It's a what the fuck? Yo, listen. So we're gonna actually create this card. We could also probably get it for free through the story. I'm pretty sure by playing the story we'll get this card eventually. But we don't want it eventually. We want it right now. So we're gonna do that. One of these cards gotta go, man. Alright, let's be fair. We did not get this wand. I may want to have all 7 in the deck, but I may not. I don't think that we don't put it like this. We don't got the wand yet, so we'll put in our favorites in case we need to put all 7 in. But right now we don't have the wand yet. We did not get that far in the story. So per the story, we have the World Chalice, which we got with Lee. After that, we ended up at the World Armor, which we had to defeat the Crawlers to get. Then we had to face the Mech Knights at the World Shield, which we now have. And then we finally faced the Nightmare creatures at the World Lance. Now, the next one that comes, we do not know. I believe it could be the wand, when we just take out. but we won't know until we get into our next battle. In the meantime, I love the fact that we have this Crusadia. We'll put this nigga in the deck because we took him out. We didn't know what the hell this card was going to be used for, but now we can use it. It's a Link 1 Crusadia card. Anyway, we're going to save that. We're going to get out of this. We're going to go to change accessories. Now, I will admit, I do like the, I like these sleeves, right? Aurum, the World Chalice Blade Master. So that World Chalice gave him, but that's one artifact. That's him using the power of that one artifact, right? Which is cool, and he's younger though, right? He's like a kid almost. Again, I like it, but this right here talks to me different, all right? Crusadia Maximus. Maximus is saying like he's at the top. He's at his highest form. And also, he's a part of Crusadia. He's not using... That's armor that he used from the enemies he killed. He killed them niggas and put that shit on his body. I like that. That's better than the other thing. Do we want the Spellcaster? Matt? This is a mage deck. But, or we want to ultimately, yeah, we keeping that shit right there. Alright. Now we may be able to look at this and do something else. Alright. First things first. Again, you see Ib is the lead because this is my queen, this is my baby. And she's leading the entire you know, mage force, you know, but I'm right here as her fucking support, the backup, like, you know what I'm saying, with that sword and shield, like, nigga, what? You fuck with my baby. Boom. So we gonna, now, this dragon has a hell of a transformation. We start off as the World Chalice Guard Dragon, playing with that little ball. My boy evolves and has that World Chalice shit, but Ibli took the World Chalice powers away from us, so we can't use the World Chalice no more. Then my boy evolved even more. This Crusadia Draco is fire. I can't wait to use this shit in the battle. This shit is actually just, I just like the aesthetics of it. There was this one game called what the fuck is that? Neopets. There was this game called Neopets, man, back in the day. It was a computer game. This literally looks like one of my Neopets. That's why I love this card so much. It reminds me of a Neopet I had before. That was like a dog dragon type of deal, and that's what this nigga is, like a dog dragon. You see, that's why he plays with that little ball and shit, you know. But then he evolved past that, and this is our ultimate form of him, which is gonna actually take that position. He has no armor. He's just completely evolved and ready to fuck up everything. All right, that right there is gonna take the slot. The strongest version of Ib that we have is the one that we have. Now, we will get the advanced version of Ib, and that will be in this position. It's going to take this card spot, where it is the strongest card in the deck, or the lead card for the deck. This Aurum, I believe Aurum is the strongest version of Aurum we have. This is 2K. This one is 16. This is also 2K, but with no effect. This guy can resurrect and get stronger for the other monsters in the grave. This is screaming me all day, right? He's a fire, he resurrects, and he can get powered up by the monster. So the more we take damage, the more rage is coming from that card. But this card cannot hold that spot though. As much as I would love for this to be a better card, it is not. We're gonna have to wait for that evolved Link monster as well. But yeah, that's that, man. So let's get up out of here. I'm so happy for that deck. Anyways, once again, for the last time, make sure to subscribe to Stone Gamer Girl. Subscribe. We up out of here, man. We love y'all. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bow. We gone.